do this every morning, Jimmy?
Most mornings, or first thing when I get to the gym after, you know, my morning motivation, put my pre-workout, taking my vitamins and everything. Sometimes I'll sip on my pre-workout when I get to the gym. There's usually some extensive warm-up before I just push play or jump right into whatever my strength and conditioning is for that day.
Sweet. Yeah, I know this morning we had on some positive speaking too from YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll put that on, you know, put my AirPods in, get a little more personal development in. Sometimes it's just a workout hype video.
Right,
so many of those great ones on YouTube where it's, you know, scenes from, you know, whether it's epic movies.
Oh yeah.
Or, you know, motivational talks. Because half of it, especially getting up in the morning, is, you know, choosing that attitude and that mood, you know. I mean, we're all tired early, we're all groggy when we wake up.
Oh yeah.
But then it's what are the things you can do to kind of work yourself into another state. You know, and Tony Robbins talks about you can change your confidence, you can change your mental state by changing your physical state. So I really feel like combining the two, you know, playing something audio-wise, plus starting my day with my workouts. You know, it gets endorphins running, I start having ideas, I get inspired, and that gets me rolling early.
Sweet.
And it wasn't always like this, man. I was a monster night owl, so those people are like, Jimmy just can't get up that early. Well, you choose not to get up that early. Because I was the same way. But I also knew where my life was when I was a super night owl and I was sleeping in and hitting snooze and I wasn't happy. I wasn't productive. I wasn't passionate about what I was doing. And it takes some time. I become a morning bird overnight. And there's still mornings I don't want to wake up. But the benefits outweigh the pain. You know, and I think that's where the shift happens.
Right.
Is when you realize, okay, this temporary inconvenience is worth it because I put in enough times and I've tested and seen the long-term results. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a continuing with the morning routine, right? So this morning, and I don't even know if we covered this, you know, when I first wake up, I just pop on YouTube like this, right? We're here on YouTube, and if you'll notice, you can see a lot of what I listen to.
So that's like your sub box or just recommended because you're
This is the recommended because I listen to these things so often every morning. So, I mean, literally you can go on YouTube and put in motivational video, and I listen to them so much, it's usually people like Tony Robbins, The Rock,
Thank you.
Jim Rohn, Eric Thomas, Gary Vaynerchuk, you know, and so I'll pop one of these things on, like literally when I'm barely waking up, going to the bathroom, like I realized that there was kind of a hidden 15-20 minutes in the morning that most of us just kind of sit around and groggy or turn on the news.
Yeah.
And that's when your brain is so primed to be ready to be programmed that day. And so I want something that's going to speak some life into me. And one of the things I repeat over and over again is you got to attack your mind before your mind attacks you. Yeah. So I do that, I move a little bit, I get the pre-workout in that we've talked about, right? And then it's time for workout. Then after that, we're post-workout here. It's always some coffee. I have my journal here. So one of my favorite audios on here is by Earl Nightingale, and it's called The Strangest Secret. And he talks about basically our thoughts determine who we are, how we define ourselves. In the second half of the audio, it's a 30-day note card challenge. And he asks you to write a very specific, worthwhile goal. And to carry this note card around with you and look at it. Mine has about 3 on it. He says 1, you can do 3, whatever. But I keep one of these in the journal, I keep one on the dash of my car, I keep one by my bed, and I keep one on my mirror when I'm getting ready. And one in the kitchen too, by where I make my shakes. And they all say the same thing, and it's just a reminder, even if I don't physically look at it. And so then what I do next is I read my card, then I take my journal out, and I number, you can see like numbers 1 to 10. And what I don't do is, I don't look at the days before. And so the 1 to 10 can be a mix of things like, you know, like number 1 from a few days ago is I enthusiastically find ways to get out of my comfort zone. Number 2 is nothing and no one limits me. The only thing stopping me from doing or having or being what I want is me. But then there's also specific things. Maybe there's some financial goals. Maybe there's how many YouTube subscribers I want to get. Maybe it's, you know, one day I'd like to own a vacation home in New York City. Or there's things like that. And so every day it changes a little bit, but it starts with some kind of gratitude goals, and just letting myself daydream. And then once the 10's done, then I literally stream of consciousness right until I'm done. Some days it's a page, it's always at least a page. Some days it's 2 and 3, and it may just start, this morning I'm feeling, and then I just kind of let it flow. I don't judge it, I let anything, and sometimes you really surprise yourself on the things that you talk about. So that really is my morning routine, and a little bit of reading. So right now I'm reading Rules for a Night, just something else to like ponder upon. You know, this could be, sometimes it's a personal development book, sometimes it's, you know, something about business training or leadership. And so all of that together primes me for my day, and I literally do it every day, weekday, weekend. I'm traveling right now, but it sets me up for success. And hopefully you don't even take all of this, take one piece of this and apply it, and hopefully it helps you start your day as well. If this has been helpful to you, if you're like, Jimmy, this is exactly what I need, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know which piece of this you're putting into your day and why it's helpful. My name is Coach Jimmy. Until next time, keep performing higher.